The most historic preservation tax credits in the state of Ohio have been awarded to properties right here in Cincinnati. About $13.5 million will go to 17 separate projects in the OTR and downtown areas. Joining us this morning is State Representative Denny Isaacson. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
And this is really exciting. I think I read through the list. Most of the properties, if not all of them, have a housing component, which has been so important to the city of Cincinnati, really trying to push for more housing options, especially affordable housing options. So it's really great news for residents.
Well, that's why it's so exciting. I mean, it is a big deal that not only did Cincinnati get the biggest amount of money, we have the most projects in the state getting awarded the historic preservation tax credits. And it's exactly like you said, it goes towards making sure that we are building more housing, that we are taking these historic buildings, which are beautiful and which we like to walk by, and actually converting them into places people can live.
Right, and it costs so much money when you think about an upgrade to really redo the inside and especially the exterior of the buildings, and a couple of them have those kinds of components because you can't really pop in a window, for example, like you could in some of the newer buildings, like maybe in Oakley and Hyde Park. So this really helps owners of those buildings.
Well, that's exactly right. And you know, the big project in Cincinnati, the one that got the catalytic award, so the highest amount, $10 million, is the Carew Tower,
right,
which is going to be converted from the fourth floor up into residential units. Mm-hmm. And to maintain the historic preservation on the Carew Tower, which is this beautiful building downtown, is really expensive, and it's important that the state invests in our communities and neighborhoods by making sure that we get access to these credits.
Yeah, and they got about $10 million, and even in recent weeks, we've kind of seen pieces of the building brick falling that has shut down the street. So it's really important that there's a steady stream of income for the update to that building specifically.
Well, it's such a huge project, and I mean, hundreds of units right in the heart of downtown.
Yeah, I think about 400.
In this beautiful building. So, you know, we're going to go from bricks falling on residents and people walking by to this incredible new building with units for people to live in. So that's what these credits are all about.
Yeah, it is really exciting. So there is an application to have your building or your area have that historic preservation. So when it comes to this tax credit program specifically, they have biannual application periods. Is that something that your office assists those owners with?
So we will get all the information out. That's exactly right. It happens twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. So the next, the most sort of urgent deadline coming up is that by February 15th, you need to submit an intent to apply.
Okay.
And you can get a lot of this information at development.ohio.gov. So it's all there on the website, but yes, we will send it out and make sure that folks know, you know, this is how you get it. And it can't go to single-family homes, so if you have a beautiful historic single-family home, it's not coming to you. But it can go to, you know, small residential buildings or bigger industrial or commercial buildings.
And what does this do for your district? Again, you cover the OTR and downtown areas. How does that benefit?
You know, I tell people all the time, I try and be a little humble in Columbus, that I'm not going to say I have the best district, but we got the nicest people, the most delicious food, the prettiest buildings, so you know, and the best museums. So you can decide if that makes it the best. But this is what allows us to keep investing in these historic communities and making sure that people can live downtown over the Rhine, in the West End, in these buildings that, you know, go back 100, 150 years.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.